last night, Scott Bessent, who is Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary, was on American cable news television and said that he had been in the Oval Office yesterday when Donald Trump spoke to Mark Carney. And Bessent claims in this interview that Carney very aggressively walked back the claims that he had made, some of the things he had said in that speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos that generated so much attention. And without any kind of contradictory information from the Prime Minister's office, we don't even know until then that Carney and Trump had spoken. In fact, Carney has been asked about this recently, about whether he'd been in communications with Trump. In fact, at Quebec City, when he had the cabinet retreat at the end of last week, he was asked, have you spoken to Donald Trump? And Carney just replied, well, that's kind of a boring question. He does not like that question. He doesn't find it interesting. He doesn't think journalists should be asking about it, even though it's obviously clearly of interest to our viewers, readers, listeners, and it's important because of the state of our relationship with the United States. So this morning, then, Carney, again, on his way into a cabinet meeting here in Ottawa, was asked again, and a different response, and he emphatically denied that he walked back any comments and really went on to kind of characterize the conversation as a general discussion about the state of relations between the two countries and things going on around the world. Listen to what the Prime Minister said this morning in Ottawa.
To be absolutely clear, and I said this to the President, I meant what I said in Davos. It was clear, it was a broader set of issues, that Canada was the first country to understand the change in U.S. trade policy that he had initiated, and we're responding to that. We're responding positively by building partnerships abroad. We're responding positively by building at home, and we're prepared to respond positively by building that new relationship through CUSMA. He understood that, and it was a good conversation.
So a very different version of events from the Prime Minister compared to Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and you viewers can decide for themselves which version they believe, given the reputation of the Trump administration and some of those cabinet secretaries for maybe framing reality in a different way than it really occurred.